Hi ladies, and good night to each and every one of you. I trust that you all had an awesome weekend and you're ready for Monday morning. So let's jump right in. So the topic I'm going to be talking on tonight is basically I give up. So you all know that we had a 90-day exercise challenge, and this isn't really about the exercise challenge, but I'll use that as an example of what I'm talking about. So with the 90-day exercise challenge, we were supposed to exercise every week, every day, once for the day, and then we were supposed to take one break. Now, I believe the 90-day exercise challenge is supposed to be finishing next week or next 2 weeks. Good night, Allison. And let me just silence this. Yeah, and I gave up on a long time for those who've been following. So it's something that I was not able to achieve. And that's really what I want to talk tonight about in terms of us setting goals and having to look back on them and realize if we were unable to achieve them and what that means. Now, I want to bring this into entrepreneurship and what that means for entrepreneurship. So this is a video that I had planned to do for a long time now, and I was just trying to figure out how to phrase it because, as you all know, I am all about pushing forward, persevering, reaching for your goals and all of that. So this message is not for every single person to take. If it is that you want to take the message of getting sunlight every day that I would have spoken about, or having fun, playing every so often as I would have spoken about, feel free and go ahead. This message is for specifically people that the message is meant for, whoever that is. I'm not specifically talking to anyone as far as I know, but I've been getting, some nudges over the last couple of weeks that I should share this message. So I want to be able to share it with you all for whoever it may be, that person's whoever, you all take it with a grain of salt and use the information as necessary. So I want to talk about failure in business. And as I would have said, the 90-day exercise challenge didn't work out for me. And one of the reasons why is because I really don't like exercising. And probably I should have done a 10-day exercise challenge or a 15-day exercise challenge. And then it probably would have worked, right? Because it would have been a new type of habit that I was picking up that I would have been able to stick with, and the other ladies who would have joined me would have been able to stick with it as well. Another factor is we went through Christmas and New Year's, and that was a whole thing by itself in terms of being busy with extra work for some people, having friends and family over. So the fact that I was not able to complete the 90-day challenge, I had to look back at myself and wonder why it is I was not able to complete it, and look at how I can change my behavior for the future in terms of setting my goals. Now, when it comes to entrepreneurship, we set goals, we start a business, of course, and we say we want to be able to make X amount of money to pay rent, to pay mortgage, food, children, whatever the case may be. Unfortunately, there are times when we will not reach the goals that we want. And a lot of the times we take this failure as I am a failure, that I would have failed, that there's something wrong with me, when really and truly we have to look at failure as a lesson and something that we can grow from. Now, there are some people who may need to go back to work full-time and do their business part-time. It happens, and there's no shame in that. You may have friends and family, but what she thought she was going to be a big entrepreneur, now she have to go back to work. Listen, there is the battle and there is the war. There are some times when you lose the battle, you have to go back and recoup, and you got to come back and win the war. Now, there are some people need to go back to work part-time and they run their business part-time. There's no shame in that, right? And there are some people who decide, I'm not going to go back to work, I'm going to stick it out and I'm going to get done what I need to get done. And that's all well and good as well. But what I'm saying is, as an entrepreneur, especially for persons that are just starting in business, whatever decision you have to make, it's not that you are a failure, it's that you would have not succeeded at this particular thing, and that's a lesson and an opportunity for you to grow and do better. So I'll give you all a personal story. So, hi Diana, I hope your training is going well, or if you started it as yet. Good night, Tammy. So I'll give you all a personal example. For those of you that know me, I just come up with crazy ideas just randomly all over the place and decide that that's what I'm going to do. So my husband is a sign language interpreter. He does sign language for persons that are deaf and hearing impaired. And last year I was home and I said, you know what? I'm going to have a sign language camp for children. So I roped in my husband and I started planning. I got a venue. I got some persons that are deaf to come and help us with the sign language camp. I got persons to do dance and art and all sorts of things. McGill planning. I plan and I start a Facebook page and I'm doing paid ads. I went and I got flyers. I went into schools. I went into a big PTA meeting. There were like maybe 60 to 80 parents there, and well, my husband and I, we went together and we talked about sign language and everything, and I am ready to do this camp. I don't count the profits already. We're ready to go. Lo and behold, parents interested, but nobody's registering. Nobody paying money. Nobody putting their money where their mouth is. And I'm going and I'm going and I'm going and I'm doing ads and I'm giving out flyers. I was in Tunapuna at the time and I'm going my Pennywise and I'm giving out flyers and I'm going to schools and I'm doing all of this and nobody's signing up. I had like 3 parents that were actually interested. So it is now, we were in probably May going into June, and this was to start in July. And I'm thinking, if it is that I don't get the amount of students that I need, then I have to pay out of pocket for the venue. I have to pay for all the persons that are supposed to be coming to assist. I have to pay for all the material. And I'm like, Lord Father, what it is going to happen here? Good night, Jocelyn. Thank you. So I'm coming down to the time, and I'm saying I'm not sure if this is going to work. And probably it was the 2nd week in June thereabout, the venue that I was supposed to get ended up, they said I wasn't going to get it for July. So I said, okay, thank you very much, and I just cancelled the sign language whole camp. And to be quite honest, I only had to tell 2 parents that it was cancelled, and nobody has ever followed up. So I'm saying to myself, if I ran this camp, I would have a couple $1,000 that we would have had to find from somewhere to pay for all of these things that we decided to do. So that idea didn't work out very well. And I could have stopped and say, oh my gosh, I'm a failure. Obviously, it wasn't a very good feeling that the camp didn't pull off for whatever reason. But there's a difference between internalizing the failure and say, I am a failure, or looking at it from the perspective of this was a business venture that didn't work and try to figure out the reasons why it didn't work. Maybe it was timing, maybe it was the venue, location, maybe it was that there were just a lot of other persons doing camps and there was a lot of competition, maybe parents didn't have the money, whatever the case may be. If once we start saying, I am a failure, I am not good, and you start giving yourself those negative thoughts and feelings, then you wouldn't have the energy or you wouldn't have the drive to go forward to do more things and to be able to start a new business. We always talk about failure and success in terms of that big famous person was, you know, they had how much ever failed businesses until they came upon the right one. And that's all well and good if we're talking, you know, about those celebrities in the States or whatever country. But we have to understand as well that we will have our own story to tell of failures and success. So success is not a straight line. It's all over the place, up and down, right? So just because you may be experiencing a failure now, it doesn't mean that you are a failure. You have to be able to step out of yourself and look at the business that you're in, look at the situation that you're in, and ask yourself what you can do to improve and start putting things in place. Another thing I want to touch on, your business is your baby, and your business is also not your baby. What do I mean? First off, your business is your baby. When your business is new, when your business is starting off, you have to put in time and energy into your business. You have to spend money on it. You might have some sleepless nights. Your business is your baby. You have to nurture it. You have to watch it grow. You have to wait for it to grow. So in many ways, your business is your baby. However, your business is not your baby. You don't have to die for your business. Your business is a business. It's the thing that will get you money so that you can do what you want to do in life. So if it is that you realize that, listen, this business idea is not working, you have to be able to separate yourself from that enough and ask yourself, do I need a different business idea? Do I need more training so that I can figure it out? Do I need to put this business idea down and come back to it later on? What do I need to do to make this business idea work so that I can accomplish what I want in life? So in many respects, your business is not your baby. This is not something that you need to walk through the desert with in order to, make it survive, because this is your baby, right? So there's a level of separation that's necessary emotionally from your business, where you can stand back and ask yourself, is this working? Is this making sense? Is this feeding my family? Is this paying my rent? Is this doing what I need to do? And that doesn't mean that you have to give up on your business. This is what I say, it's for a specific situation, a specific time, right? What this means is that you need to stop and ask yourself if it's viable or if it's not. And if it's viable, why is it not making money? And when you start figuring out that, then you can go through your SWOT analysis, which I'll probably cover in another time, and figure out what's going wrong and what you need to change, what you need to fix. And if it's not viable, then you need to ask yourself, is it the right time for me to be doing this? Is it something that I have to put aside and maybe invest in more later on? Or is the business idea just not viable for me? And it may be a hard pill to swallow, but there are times when, like my sign language camp, I was so excited about it. I really wanted to do it, but it was just not viable for me. And I have yet to figure out why. So that's something that I will have to go back to if I decide in the future to go forward with that. All right. Thanks so very much, Jocelyn. So I want to reiterate the points. One, having experienced a failure doesn't mean that you are a failure. So you have to be able to look at yourself and ask yourself, why did I fail in this situation? And what can I do differently in a similar situation that will cause me or allow me to succeed? Maybe it is that you need to set smaller goals, like my 90-day exercise challenge. Maybe you need to take some time and figure out why it didn't work, like my sign language class. Whatever the case may be, don't internalize it. You need to externalize it so that you can have a clear mind to look at it. And secondly, your business is your baby, and your business is also not your baby. So understand that, especially in the first years of business, you really can't walk away from your business and leave it alone, because you need to nurture it. You need to put things in it for you to grow. And at the same time, your business is not your baby. You need to have an emotional separation from it enough that you can be able to sit down and figure out if this is viable or if it's not viable. And if it's not viable, then you need to figure out how to have an exit strategy so that you can actually have money for yourself, money for your family, money to live, and money to invest in whatever entrepreneurial venture that you intend to go into later on. So I want to encourage you, if you haven't done so already, look at the stories of successful business owners, and I'm sure in many of those stories will have the lengths that they went through, the different successes and failures they had, and the different lessons that they would have learned along the way. And instead of you having to go through every single one of those, you can actually learn from them so that you can jump over some of those points and reach the success faster. But just letting you know, if there is a failure along the way, you are still awesome, you are still wonderful, and you can still make it. So just regroup. If you need to get somebody on the outside to help you figure it out, you can definitely do that as well. And once you keep pushing forward, you will get to where you need to go. All right, so thanks so very much for tuning in tonight, ladies, and I hope you will have a good night. Bye.